Line up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Feedback. I have Joe Moreno in the studio today. This is someone who I've met only a couple of times. He's helped me with some business ventures, and he's shown me a couple things that he's made musically. There's a lot of things that he does in his daily life that helps other people create, I don't know, like a vision for their business. And I'm very excited to get him in the studio today to get inside of his brain. So ladies and gentlemen, Joe Moreno, how are you, brother?
Pretty good.
Let's go. So Joe,
Yeah.
you are, to make the money, and this is how you make your money each day. You're a brand ambassador for the hat that you have on right now. It's Go Be Rewarded, right?
Yes.
What do you do with that?
So Aaron Gobitis, I met him 7 years ago through a mutual friend. And I was looking to get back into videography, and I was still a water guy at the time.
Okay.
But they were really new, and I was like, I don't know, this is like a startup. And I'm sure that he was also like, well, he hasn't done this in a long time. So it was nothing. We were just like, oh, yeah, maybe we'll keep in contact.
Yeah.
But I was really interested because he said that he was helping local business. And so over time, I think it just made sense. There's really a whole lot of complexity to how I ended up coming out of water.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll even have time for it in this podcast, but the end result is that he stayed committed to helping local business and doing everything locally with local people in-house, not subcontracting it out to people in other states, other countries, like a lot of people in our industry do.
What do you mean by that? So if I sell lemonade, and you're going to be someone that tells the world how I sell lemonade.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like he would get other people contract out people in different areas to do certain things for the business?
Well, Aaron doesn't. Aaron Gobitis, the owner of Go Be Rewarded, he does everything in-house with his team.
Nice.
Like the 12 of us. Whereas most of the marketing people that I met, and I'm real new to this.
Yeah.
But most of them that I met, they'll meet with you locally. But a lot of times they're hiring somebody.
Fiverr?
Yeah.
What is Fiverr? Can you tell the audience what Fiverr is?
I still don't really know.
Yeah, because people always tell like, well, why don't you just get you a business ad on Fiverr or tell them to do a podcast logo on Fiverr? And I'm like, what is Fiverr? So I guess Fiverr is
a place where you can sub out what you want to do.
Yeah, and it's from a different country, right?
A lot of times. I don't think it has to be.
No, okay. So local artists can go on there and...
Yeah, maybe. And I've been curious to look at it myself for my thing.
Yeah.
And I don't really mind...
Wait. What's your thing?
Music.
Let's go.
So music is really what I like and not even what I like. It's like, that's just like who I am.
Who you are.
Yeah, like it's
very important to know who you are.
Yeah, but it really informs everything that I do for them. But also a lot of what I've learned in this and other experiences have informed my music. And it feels funny to call it my music.
Yeah.
Because my Instagram handle is WeAreCruiseJ.
Yeah.
And I did
But you put an underscore, right?
Did I?
Or that's what your Spotify is.
Maybe I did. I don't know why I did the underscore.
I think I was just
I think I was just being silly. But We Are is two things. I love the group De La Soul.
Yeah.
And their Instagram handle is We Are De La Soul.
Oh, yeah.
But so it was a nod to that. But it was also a lot of my music, I'm collaborating with people.
Yeah.
I do sing, but a lot of times, it's not that I don't like my voice. It's just when I'll hear a song, I'll be like, it needs this voice on it. And then I'll go on a hunt for that voice.
You have a producer's mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of know what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, when you write music, do you write for your voice or do you write for other voices?
I just write what can't not come out of my brain.
Let's go. Let's go with that statement.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So, like, I don't know if you heard the one Messenger.
No, because you sent me Dark is Light.
Dark is Light. Okay.
So I put Dark is Light. I listened to it and I'm like, yeah, I would love to have you on the podcast. I would love to know about this song. And it was with someone else.
Yeah. So that's a fun one to talk about. So,
yeah. Wait, can we play it?
Yeah, you can play part of it, all of it, whatever you want.
Let me just start it up a little bit. Here's Dark as Light. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go on Spotify right now. Cruise_J, Dark as Light. This is featuring Lauren Hartman. Is that the singer?
Well, he starts it, and then I end.
You're in there too?
It's a duet.
Well, I love it. I love the...
You said it wouldn't hurt at all. You said it would taste like candy.
All right, that's you going dun 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 dun. That's your guitaring, right? Are you doing other instruments on this song?
All the music is me.
What about the drums? Creating drums?
Those, you know how you can go in GarageBand?
Yeah,
and
I certainly do.
select a drummer.
Drummer, yeah. I know.
I just picked one, and I just went with what it said it wanted to do. Then
Well, that's like what this whole podcast is about, Joe.
Yeah.
Is that when I heard this song and I heard the other person in there, and then I heard how complex it is, it gets sick. And there's a change here.
Yeah. So get this, I sang this while driving the water van through Point Loma, because this is just when it hit me to do it. I just through my phone did it while I'm driving.
Oh, so this is like a lo-fi recording,
Driving
and you
the van.
threw it over the thing.
Yeah.
You exported into GarageBand and threw it
I
over the drum?
recorded it directly into GarageBand.
Oh,
in
on the
van-
mobile app on the phone.
On the van, in the van.
Not on a laptop, on a mobile app?
I'm driving while I do this.
That is awesome, dude.
Your tenderness light as a pen.
What about that beer or that electronic drum that just dropped right
Stuff
there?
I found on GarageBand.
You just, yeah.
Just
Something you played, like an instrument that you played, or you found a loop that was in the key, or how did you do that? Because my whole thing is I want to teach people that sometimes it's not as hard as you think. And if
Yeah.
there's something inside of you, don't be blocked by the fact that, like, I don't know how to do it. I want to show them that you find a way,
Yeah.
you know, because you think that's in a studio somewhere. When I heard it, I was driving. That was loud in my truck. I was driving it to work the day after you showed me. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta listen to Joe's song, and I put it on, and I'm like, all right, I have so much to ask him about the song already,
Yeah.
you know, and it doesn't. The reality is always,
yeah. So Lauren Hartman
who's
is
this
of
person?
the group Sarah Laughing. They're no longer a band. They were locally famous in Orange County.
It was called Sarah Laughing
Yeah. And so
with an A or an H.
it had an H, I believe.
I
So
have to ask people that all the time.
yeah, I believe it had an H. So Lauren's brother Eric was in that band too. Lauren was the singer, Eric was a guitar player. They were like a big band. They had horns, keys, guitar, bass, drums, a backup singer, I forget what her name is. But Eric is the first person who really said, well, actually, my friend Grant Combs, who I knew from my church, Living Spring Church in Garden Grove, California.
We took this trip to Garden.
Yes, that Garden Grove. There's another story about that band. But anyways, at that point in time, I had gotten good enough on guitar that if I heard a song, I could at least get the guitar chords, not the lead,
Yeah.
but the chords down by the next day. And so he heard me playing Plush by Stone Temple
Yeah,
Pilots.
great song.
And I was just playing. He's like, how do you know how to play that song? It just came on the radio last
It's in you.
And so I was just like, oh, well, it's just like you start on G. And he's like, I'm going to start a band and you're going to be in it. And I was like, okay. He was like 5 years older than me. So to me, I was like, whatever you say, because I'm like 14 years old. And
Oh, shit, really?
And so I'm like, okay, yeah, that's great. Whatever, because you're 14
and someone wants to jam
even
with
if
you,
they're 17.
and they're telling
think-
you positive things about
Yeah.
what they're hearing.
So anyways, I got in this group, but nobody was able or willing or both to play bass. So they said, why don't you try and play bass? And his friend Eric, who introduced us to Vince Barcelona, the drummer, he gave me this bass. And I thought he gave me the bass. He was lending it to me, but just never asked for it back.
Yeah.
That's I won't go into that story. But anyways,
Miscommunication.
Eric was even older and Vince was even older. So I was just like, I'm in a band with these like really cool older guys that are in their like almost 20s or 20s. This guy's almost 30.
Yeah.
And he's helping like form the band but I didn't really know much about Lauren. And that band broke up, and another band I was in, we broke up, and music kind of took somewhat of a backseat for a while, especially when
You know why?
Why?
Why did it take a back seat?
I think
Like, there's got to be a reason.
yeah, I think I let life overwhelm me,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and I just, I think I have often
Because of work or relationships or like
Everything.
being young or
I think
because at what time did you let it take a back seat?
I think it was probably 2021.
Okay, shit. So you had a good 6+ years, 6 or so years.
Yeah.
Where you were in it doing it.
Yeah, and then
So you were a rock star for 6 years. And then
not really. We played some gigs here and there. A lot of them were free gigs.
Yeah, but still fun.
Yeah, it was fun. But I would say, like, Lauren, I didn't really know him. And around 2020, I had a dream near the edge of waking up.
Okay.
And I heard this sound. And my daughters at that point, now I have kids. And
How many kids?
I have 3 daughters,
Nice.
a beautiful wife, Erin Moreno. Shout out to Erin.
Aaron.
And,
Beautiful Aaron.
And I think they were telling me, well, Dad, you're always goofing around on guitar. Why don't you try GarageBand? And I really,
Oh, so you didn't know.
I knew it was on my phone. I thought it was like Guitar Hero. I thought it was like a game.
Like a straight production.
I didn't, I just was like, nah, that's not for me.
Yeah.
But I finally was like, well, let me just try and figure this out. And so once I did, I was realizing how quickly you can at least get an idea just with your phone. And so once I discovered that, that was a song called Messenger, which is also on Spotify. But by the time we got to...
Why is it the OK edit?
Because I did a better version at this
It's
point.
not on there yet?
No, I just...
All right, so how did you get this stuff on Spotify?
A friend of mine, Chris Bright, who is the younger brother of my wife's best friend, Amy Broncar, now used to be Bright. He is prolific on streaming under the name Life Is My Soundtrack.
That's cool.
He probably has 500 to 1,000 songs on Spotify.
Distributed.
And they're mostly instrumentals.
Yeah. What's the point of all those songs? Just to make and put it out, or he's trying to get other people to listen to them and add to
He
them?
has a lot of listeners throughout lots of countries, and it's more for music for studying, for background music.
Etudes and such. Oh,
Yeah.
like that. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But he was like, I was
Making
like,
a vibe for someone's hour or night or whatever.
yeah, and I've used it at times too to just like chill out. But he's the one who helped me understand DistroKid.
DistroKid, yeah.
To get onto Spotify and Apple Music and a bunch of the other ones that I don't ever hear of people using, but you must use them because they're on there. But yeah.
DistroKid is how I put stuff on Spotify.
Yeah.
Same thing. I just, I think I searched it one day, like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And it was through DistroKid, and they said as long as you like pay the premium and you put whatever as your like your recording studio as your label, then they're simply a distributor and they'll put it on everything else. And if you don't pay the extra $50 or whatever, then they're putting their label. It doesn't mean they're taking their rights by any means, but they're just putting that on there as you do it. But at no way, and they make this very clear, do they not steal the rights to the song that you made, which I thought was really cool. Shout out DistroKid. You know what I mean? Give me a discount if I want to dump all of my songs out there.
So Lauren, I don't even know if I ever talked to him in person or on the phone or anything, but I remembered he had this voice. And for that song, it was another similar thing. I don't think it was a dream, but I put it together quick. And then I'm like, I sing.
Wait, so you recorded in your car delivering
Maybe-
water in Point Loma first?
No. I think it was probably at home, but on the phone.
Okay.
Nearly all of the music has been recorded on the phone with no mics, no mixers.
Straight to the phone. And then you just affect it to make it sound a little better?
Yeah. So like,
Because I know you're putting something on it.
yeah,
There's no way you're just going.
yeah. And some of it is, whoever made the microphones and the phones, these are good microphones.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the entire studio here is run off of iPhones.
Yeah.
15 Pro or plus. You can run 4K, 30-bit, and it comes out better than some of these, better
Yeah.
than a lot of these other components. You want to pay $1,800 for a camera that does the same thing? You know, and
Yeah.
if I am not want to be a movie producer yet,
Exactly.
director yet, then, I have no use for those. But, dude, I'm doing jobs. I'm doing everything each day. I borrow my wife's phone for camera 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's amazing how accessible it's become.
Yeah. So Lauren, I think I shot him out on Messenger, Facebook Messenger. I said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me. I'm the kid, your younger brother he helped form this group." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I just said, "Hey, I have this song. I think your voice would sound great on it.
Love that.
And will you listen to it?" And he's like, "Sure."
That's cool.
I have done this with probably 20 people, and I would say maybe 4 of them have taken me up on it.
Nice.
Most of the people
Well, it
aren't
just shows
mean
you.
about it. They're just like, "Oh yeah, that sounds cool. Maybe we'll do that," and then they just never get back to me.
Yeah,
and I get
yeah.
it because they're just, for whatever reason, they don't either like it or they don't
Or it's just
understand.
life's happening.
Or life's happening. You know,
I can't get with you right now, dude. I'm busy.
Yeah, and so I understand. I think I've learned a lot in the last couple years, but about how grace works.
There you go. That's a cool
And-
thing to say.
And the thing is, it's just
Speak
like,
on that. What does that mean?
well, I'm not by any means a Jedi master at it, especially at home. That's where you're tested the most.
Yeah.
And so, but I would say understanding honor with people. You say you're going to do something, you do it. But when people can't, it doesn't do any good to put in their face that they didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when you don't.
Yeah. That just
Yeah.
double piggybacks on honor anyway.
Yeah. So I guess that's
Your
more
honor.
like mercy. Some people say mercy is not getting what you deserve, and grace is getting something you didn't deserve. But I've been given so much grace. I mean, Eric Hartman gave me, he loaned me a bass and never asked for it back. But and then I've been given. I've hardly bought.
Wait, I have
anything.
to ask, do you still have the space?
No. At one point in time, I got desperate and I pawned it.
Dude,
And then later, I told him, "Hey,
how old are you, Joe?
48."
There you go. Yeah, so, I mean, same thing. Back in the day, I'd run through like, dude, I bought all this equipment, and then life would happen, and I'm like, shit. The only place that's going to buy all this stuff would just be the pawn shop. I swear I'll come back. I come back, buy a couple things, You would take your things to the pawn shop, and you would pawn things that meant so much to you just to get by.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I pawned it, and later I told him, he's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, that wasn't really. That was more of a
Oh, that's how
loan."
you found out it wasn't his? After it was gone?
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't worry about it. It's what is what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is what it is." But
He allowed-
anyways,
He's like, it's just grace.
yeah. And I just wanted Lauren, his brother, to just sing this whole thing.
Yeah.
But he kept saying, "I like your voice on it. I
Yeah.
think you should do it. I'll show you how I'm doing it, but I really think that you need to just release this as your song with your voice." And
But something inside of you said,
so he gave me that first verse and didn't give me anything else. And so I was like, "All right,"
wait. So you sent him the MP3 of the instrumental?
with my guide track.
Okay.
And he sang just that first verse and the chorus, I guess. And then when it came time, because it was weeks and weeks, and he was like not getting back to me. And I was like, okay, I get the hint. He's not going to give me anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, I got to finish this song. So I was like, okay, well, I've heard what he did, and I could just like turn the fader down and the fader up for my voice. When I say fader,
Oh, yeah, and just
when I say fader, again, I'm not using a mixer. I'm just doing it.
like the volume click, and then you're dragging the.
Yeah, but I thought, well, he's kind of saying this differently now, and what if it's
what you had in mind? Wait, did you
a
send
little
him
different.
lyrics?
Yeah, I sent him the lyrics, and I sent him
okay.
the whole
And an
track
idea.
with the guide track,
Sure,
as in like
that's what I'm thinking.
me singing just without. I don't think it had effects on it,
Yeah,
just so he could hear the words
Sure.
clearly. But he sang it a little differently, and I thought, well, what if this is a duet, and he's singing one thing like, I trusted you, because this song is about like, feeling duped.
Yeah.
That feeling of like, the sinking feeling in your stomach, like you put all your chips onto something, and that person is not really reciprocating the relationship.
Sure.
And so I thought, okay, what if he is the first part, and then I redo the second part as though it's an answer. I didn't change the lyrics or anything. I just tried to imagine that he's saying this to me, and then I'm kind of like
singing back about the same thing.
Yeah, but kind of snarling back at him in an egotistical way. Like,
that's cool though.
Yeah. So I don't know if it came across that way, because if you're like me, you don't really pay attention to lyrics, at least on the first listen, very much.
Yeah.
At least I don't.
I feel like that's most people. I've noticed that a lot of times, someone will release an album or their new stuff, or they'll show me something, and at first I have a way different opinion than after I've listened to it a couple times.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden I'm like, dude, I love this song, and I didn't at first, and that's very odd to me. And a lot of stuff, and I don't know if it's just because it's different or because you're getting used to it or whatever it is. But same thing. Like at first, I'm more of a vibe guy. Oh, I love that. What is that song? Oh, heart, move on. My life's so busy that I'm like, add to liked, go on, and then sometime later in my life, I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
And same thing. I wonder if that's with other people or.
Yeah, I don't even know how many people have listened to the song. I haven't even tried to track any of that, and I don't really care. Yeah. I say that I don't care, but I do want the message of this music to get out more.
Yeah.
Mainly because a couple years ago. And I'll be kind of vague about this because I need to respect people's privacy. But we had something happen in our family where somebody was in a mental health crisis. Mm-hmm. And I really had to learn how I'm not in control, and it's okay that I'm not in control, and I can control my reaction to it.
Yeah.
But unless I'm willing to surrender the fact that it's a fact, it's truth with a capital T, we are so not in control of so many things.
Well, I was going to say the hardest part was that second part you said, that it's okay.
It's okay not to have the answer, especially for somebody you love.
Yeah.
But the best way you can be there for them is sometimes to just be there and not even have anything to say.
Yeah.
And my wife will look at this later and be like, oh yeah, you're saying you can just listen? Because as you can see, I'm a talker. And so it is very difficult for me to listen. But when I can really listen to somebody and put myself in their place and be like, wow, I don't know what I would do either. Suddenly, they're able to.
That is support.
Yeah. Then you can really be the person you're supposed to be without any agenda. And it's so freeing. And so going through that in our immediate family, and that's as detailed as I'll get, is something that I think has shaped my wife and I. And really, I think at the end of the day is no matter what the end result will be, because we don't ever know what tomorrow will bring.
Same thing. Yeah, it's okay for that.
Now I've learned a new kind of peace, a new kind of joy that I used to kind of sing about in church, but I didn't really understand until we went through something so heart-wrenching. And then I really had to realize, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like no matter what happens,
Yeah.
it's about to work out. So I can go into each day knowing that, yeah, some good things are going to happen. Some crappy things are going to happen, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm still me,
Yeah.
and no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. You mean as like opposed to someone that feels like it just everything's coming down on them?
And I did go,
You know?
I went through that. In 2022, I became a sales manager in the water company I was with. And I got so into work.
Yeah.
And I was making more money than I ever have. And it wasn't that much money, but it was more money than I ever had.
Yeah.
But I had never been more worried about money, never more afraid to lose it. I would rinse the dishes at night and try to have the water on the lowest setting.
Yeah.
I was so obsessed with money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was so
This
scared.
makes sense.
I was,
Yeah,
it was the imposter syndrome coming up, but I was just so tightly gripped onto, I can't lose this, I can't lose this, I can't lose this, that I lost it. And really, my boss, God bless him, he let me demote myself, and I was so happy once he's like, don't worry about it.
Give me less, please. Yeah.
Yeah, and but at the same time, I think I realized that all these things that we strive for, money, success, fulfillment through even our own art, our music,
Yeah.
whatever we define that as being like, oh, if once I do this, it'll be good. If we can surrender that now, then we have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
When we have nothing to lose, we can really open up.
Yeah, and
we can really get others to open up.
Totally. I love that. It's like a false ladder or something. You're like, once I get to that step, then, I'll be okay. And you're like on the way to the step, And so that, if you're just being, you're just like, I'm enjoying climbing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just fun to keep going.
And if I have to go down,
yeah, whatever.
Cool, now I get to look down at this really cool view.
Else?
It doesn't even matter like anymore. It's like now I realize when I was a child, like I thought more like this. And so it brought me more back into sync with that like childlike faith that you can live your life knowing that I don't need to know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Because something really cool that I wasn't even planning to happen
always happens.
like getting a job that after 2 weeks of being out of a job, which is really hard to do when you're nearly
That's how
50.
you got into this? It just happened and this fell on you?
Well, I fell into it on purpose.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if he was going to be like, yeah, let's do this now. But I just really wanted to. And I was at a point in my life where I was ready to say what I wanted and let the chips fall where they may.
At what time do you think that this happened in your life? This was a couple of years ago?
Yeah, but I would say...
Because I had something similar like that happen. I just work, and then something happened to me, and then it was like, oh shit, I gotta get like people motivated about creating. Like we're all creators, and all these people are like hiding all these talents that they have. Like let's pull it out and let's talk to people about it.
Yeah.
This was a recent thing. Because prior to this, it was simply work.
Yeah. So March, I think of 2023 or 2022. I forget now. One of those marches, because it was near the beginning of the year. I remember looking in the mirror, and I wasn't planning to say this. It just came out of my mouth while I was looking at myself in the mirror. And I said, I don't need this job. I can do whatever I want. And I believed in myself. Suddenly, like something unlocked in me. And it wasn't even like where everything changed after that. There was still a lot of ups and downs. And still learning how to...
It's not all puppy dogs and ice cream after some awakening.
But it still was something where I can look back to is like, I do believe in God. But if somebody wants to say it was just you talking to yourself, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
It was still a moment where I was really speaking to my own soul, something that I already really knew inside.
Yeah.
That I had somehow let the world deceive me. And I had let it happen.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to be I don't know. I don't even know what I wanted. I
yeah.
just knew that it's just like I have to strive and I have to be this successful thing, and it's never going to end. It's never going to be enough. And I knew that inside it wasn't ever going to be fulfilling.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So from that day on, what was the next thing that you felt like, okay, this is what fulfilling? Was it the feeling of I don't need to follow old rules, or you know what I mean? Like, what fulfilled you after?
Yeah, it's
Because I
Yeah,
personally
yeah.
had to go from I'm Mr. Worker Bee, I'm gonna make it the best thing ever, and I'm gonna provide for my family. I'm gonna like be this guy that I was like taught to be.
yeah,
You know, and it went from that to I have to become the man I need to be so I can show my family that like take it or leave it, but this is how we're leading life. Like we're becoming who we're supposed to be, and we're fulfilling in the ways that like we were given these things. And if
yeah.
you
They're
don't-
gifts.
Bro, they are so gifts. And if
Yeah.
you don't use those things that like when you do something, whatever it is, man, like
Yeah.
I could give you 1,000 different examples. Whether it's you play this, or you do this, or you shoot a basket with a trash can.
Or you're
and it
taking
feels
care of your
good.
family while they're all sick.
That's what I'm saying. Or you say something to your sick family and it
Yeah.
runs the room, and that just fulfills you. You're like, I just made all of them happy, and they wouldn't have if I didn't say that right now. Whatever it is, like if you can just run on that as opposed to like whatever these preconceived ideas of success were, like it's amazing who you become to
Yeah.
other people. And it's so like magnetic, man.
It is.
It's crazy.
And
start-
you get attracted to the
Yeah.
people that will.
other people that
It's
feel
like
that
you.
way.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's
I
so many.
can't explain
I
it.
feel like all the books you go through, all the library, you look at all the books and the self help and all the things like everyone's. And look, I'm at self help right now. I'm not even on religious texts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's in there too, and you're just like, they all have like a similar story. You know what I mean? There's like very vague things that are in all of them that are crazy similar.
Yeah.
It's like it is that. You know, it is these gifts that you were giving. Use the gifts. You already know what they are, because when you do it, you feel a certain way. Just saying that gives me chills.
Yeah.
You know, it's just those things that you do, man. And it just like what starts happening to you when you're like, I don't need this job. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? What starts happening to you when you say that, and you start diving into your gifts, and then like telling people that you love around you, like
Yeah.
that's what you're going to do. And this
Yeah.
is like my calling or whatever, man, it changes everything in your life. It's amazing. I have to ask, because I did look at your LinkedIn, and you brought up church a couple different times. Were you a pastor?
No, I was the music director.
You were the music director.
I mean,
It seemed like you were a leader of a church for multiple years.
yeah, I think I may have filled it out wrong.
Oh,
I wasn't trying to deceive people, but I think I have what's called a shepherd's heart,
There you go.
but that's the sage part.
What do you mean sage?
Sage is in like more true to the actual self. The root of good root is that I want to help draw out of people good.
Oh, that's cool.
But I know on the flip side of that, on the like imposter side at times, that can play into me wanting to be the hero for everybody. So I have to be careful.
Let me
with
ask you this. Did that happen prior to having children?
I think so.
Oh, okay. So it's in that's just something about you.
I think so. I think I don't remember. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah.
Because I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
I think that probably happens more to the oldest child. But I'm the youngest. I never had to take care of anybody.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm a mama's boy. So my mom, I think she still makes homemade breakfast for my dad every morning. I'm not sure. But when I was still living at home at like age 22,
Yeah.
she would still make everybody breakfast that was still there. And I would get a special breakfast that was just set in the microwave. So all I had to do is come over and press a button, and then out popped my food.
There you go.
And so I didn't know how to do diddly squat when
Yeah.
I first moved out on my own.
Yeah.
And so I tell my wife, I'm like, you need to be glad that I lived 9 months on my own before we actually lived together.
It would have been difficult, honey.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I really,
But you're a religious person.
yes, and
Do you go to church
I would say
all the
that,
time? Do you involve your family?
yeah. So I've always gone to church, and Protestant. It's very interesting because both sets of grandparents, both sides, were born in Texas.
Yeah.
Both sets of grandparents, both sides, not related to each other. Protestant, very different for a Mexican family
Sure.
because most Mexicans are Catholic,
Catholic. Yeah.
if they're religious at all.
Yeah.
And so it was just a different, Tex-Mex cooking.
Well, when I was like, hey, do you want to reschedule? It's really hot. And you're like, dude, I'm from Texas. I'm from East Texas, you said.
And I say that I haven't lived there since 1987,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think
But you grew up there.
I grew up till 10.
Were you born there? You were
I was born and raised till 10.
Where in Texas?
Texas City, it's near Houston.
Okay.
It's a refinery
Houston, sure.
town. Still have a lot of family there. But
You go out there a lot to see?
no.
Oh,
I think
really?
I've been there since we moved from there in 87. I may have been there half a dozen times. So I lived in Arizona from 2001 to like 2013.
Arizona.
Yeah, Tucson.
You went from
Arizona.
Texas to Arizona?
No.
You
I went
followed
from
the-
Texas, and then 87. My dad moved everybody out to Garden Grove.
Oh.
I went to school, Garden Grove High
Oh,
School.
yeah. Because you were, 14
Yeah.
when you're out there.
Yeah, and then I ended up moving to Tucson to start a videography business with my cousin, and it didn't work out. I'll just say
But was
that.
it amazing? Did you have a lot of fun?
I did have a lot of fun when
Which is why this?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I ended up getting back. So I went to school in college for music, for audio recording. The first studio I went to work for was teaching me more stuff about video editing. So my
Okay.
cousin caught word of that and said, hey, I'm doing this over here.
Oh, yeah.
Come help me.
Bro, you're in school for that?
And-
Come help me. Let's do this.
Yeah. And so I went out there, and it just, like, we did sometimes make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then other times we were barely making it by. And then he lost interest and just said, hey, I'm supposed to buy you out or something, but can I just give you all the equipment?
Oh.
And I was like, sure.
Yeah, I would have been like, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I was just the video editor or the artiste.
Okay.
Or so I thought. So I didn't.
You guys would go shoot and then be like, it's your turn, Joe. Make it look pretty.
Yeah.
And you'd sit down on a...
I'd be involved with
On a
filming
production
too,
company?
But he was
Or
the
program?
sales guy.
Okay.
He was the one that was like getting the work, and
Yeah.
I was the one doing the work.
Cool.
But once he left, I don't know why I thought this, but I just thought, okay, cool. Now all his clients will call me. But I didn't let them know. I didn't even think
Yeah.
to try to do anything.
Because you were the back office guy.
So I just let it slowly take. And
You're like, I don't know.
I don't know why-
Joe, we don't even know that you still have a business.
yeah. So anyways, lesson learned. And then at that point, my wife had lost her job, and we had a house already.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to get just whatever job I could get.
Sure.
The first place that hired me was this place called Oasis Water
Okay.
to run.
And that's how that happened.
yeah, I was
That's how
like,
your water career started.
Yeah,
Some
and I
sort
was-
of chaos, and you're like, let's go.
yeah,
Then that became the most profitable job you've ever owned or ever had.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so much to where you're like, I don't need this job.
Yeah, but
So
I
was it like a reminder of who you were?
exactly because I was only ever supposed to do it for a couple years.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Always that.
I just kept doing it because, and then I would try to get out of it, but then something would happen with whatever I was trying to do,
Yeah.
and then I'd be like, well, they're still hiring, or this other place is hiring, and it's once you're in water, it's like a brotherhood. Like I know all the water guys. Around
Yeah.
here. We all know each other, or have worked with one another at some point, and so it's like they know you, and they're just like, come on back because nobody wants to lift the water, and so they try to hire these people. Some of them look like big studs,
Yeah.
and some of them look like tiny little Filipino guys, and they're the ones that usually work out the best. The people that are scrawny,
Really?
but they're light on their feet and they just go.
Yeah.
So at one point, I was going to make a movie, and I may still do this, about the delivery industry in general.
Sure.
But specifically about a water guy, kind of in the, like a mockumentary.
Yeah, yeah,
Kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
documentary
I think
style.
that I already love it.
But it was going to be, I wanted to try to convince this one guy, and I don't know if he'll ever see this. His name's Dustin. He's now a sheriff, and he lives in Riverside County. But he was the craziest guy because he would go get jacked and lift every morning and then go do his route and then go do more.
Just
And he's still like
extra.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was just such a big personality, and everybody loved him. He had great customer service, and he was great at sales. He was just like the Beast, and so I wanted to call this movie The Beast.
The Beast, and it was about a figure like that.
Yeah, and I had like a poster already lined up where he would be standing with his back, and he'd be kind of looking this way with a bottle on his shoulder, and some other delivery people on the back, like UPS people and other, because it's crazy the things that we would see out there at people's houses or
Oh, sure.
businesses.
Yeah, dude. There's endless stories there.
And so I wanted to make this in the style of kind of a documentary, but also kind of like Scott Pilgrim Saves the World. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
So there's like text flying and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
more
fun.
legendary.
Sure,
Because
yeah.
as water guys, we all end up like legends in our own mind that we're like, no, my route's the best. Oh, you got this for Christmas? Well, somebody gave me like a whole house humidifier.
Yeah.
And so we would just like always,
You created relationships with your customers like that?
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, all of us
Because you
did.
were in, so like a home, right?
Yeah.
You were in there weekly?
Usually every other week, but
Okay.
still, some people were. We had to bring the water in for them because they were either bedridden or
Oh, like
Yeah.
that. Oh, so, man, the relationships can go with that.
yeah. And so you'd be sitting. I once met a guy in Nogales, Arizona, and he was this guy named Luis Leva. I don't know if he's still alive, but he played beautiful guitar. You can look his stuff up on YouTube. I think somebody filmed it.
Luis what?
Leva.
Leva. Leva.
Yeah, I'll write it down for you later. But he would just sit there and he'd ask me to play something. I'd be like, because he would play so good, and I'd start playing a little something. He'd be like, "Oh," and he'd ask for it
Oh,
back.
shit.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, here we go."
Yeah. Please. Yeah.
But he played this one thing for me, which I think is also on YouTube. It's the Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Okay.
But it sounds like he is a full orchestra on the
Wow.
guitar.
Wow.
Like I don't know.
It's
just-
nylon guitar?
I don't remember if it was nylon or not, but it was just of that kind of style.
Yeah.
Of playing.
Yeah.
Where he didn't have a pick. I think he was just
No,
finger
full
picking
fingers.
and doing,
Yeah.
and like he was like tuning strings down while he
Bass,
played
mid, treble.
to make
Oh,
different notes.
Yeah, just gangster on a guitar. Yeah.
And so
Some people, man.
I was like taking my lunch break there every time I would
Yeah,
go there because
yeah.
I wanted to
Yeah.
watch him.
What are you going to do, Luis?
I just want to watch what you do.
You thirsty, dude? Can I come over?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So we started in Texas with family. We moved to Arizona. Wait, no. You moved to Garden Grove first,
Yeah.
and then you moved back to Arizona.
No, not back. I moved to Arizona
Oh, that was the first time.
in
Dad moved to LA. You started a family in Arizona.
Yeah.
The kids are all born there?
Two of them.
Two of them.
The last
Two of
one-
three.
Yeah. So the third, our youngest daughter, Brielle, was born here at the old Palomar Hospital.
Nice. And then you moved here when? When did you move to San Diego?
At the end of 2012, like November.
Did you think the world was going to end in 2012 because of the Mayan calendar?
Oh no, I don't think I even heard about that.
Really?
I don't follow news.
Yeah.
I don't ever know what's going on.
Bro.
People tell me later, like when
I studied journalism. All I did was study that.
when 9/11
so
happened.
wrapped around that.
9/11 happened. That's when I first moved to Arizona to start this thing with my cousin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
September 1st, 2001. 10 days later, this happens, and I was in the editing bay all day. I wasn't eating.
Right. Oh yeah. So
I
you
was
didn't even know.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I came
yeah.
out and it was dark outside. Like, oh. And then I had an answer machine. There was like 4 messages from my cousin on there. Hey, are you watching TV right now?
Things are going bad. Yeah.
And
Did you know?
I didn't know.
That's
'cause
funny.
I just
You were doing your thing.
Yeah.
So, but you were putting hours in on that, right?
Yeah.
On the editing, which is something that you do now, right? If someone wants to, do video or whatever, would you come in? Does your business come in, shoot the video, you create that? They do that.
Yeah.
You're not sitting
I
at
am
the
just a
computer
sales
anymore.
guy now. And so
You're pitching the idea
Yeah.
or what? You say, hey, I feel like your website's weak or something. What do you do?
No, I never tell anybody that. I just tell them.
No,
what
I
we
mean,
do.
in theory or whatever.
Yeah. Aaron hired me to get him appointments. That's it. That's all my
Leads.
job is to do. And I told him, well, you've had salespeople before. How come it didn't work out? And he said some things. I don't remember everything he said, but one of the things that stuck out to me was like, well, they would go on LinkedIn. They would shoot out mass emails to people. They'd get on the phone. I'm like, well, you're trying to sell something that's more friendly in person, right? Why not make the intro in person?
Yeah.
The way I would sell water is I would just go and ask, do you need water?
Yeah.
So why don't I just go in the door and say, do you need a website?
Yeah.
So that's all I've really done this 8 months I've been there.
Yeah.
And I'm just...
Otherwise, it's the 1,000 phone calls I get every day about people wanting,
Yeah.
I don't, your SEO sucks or whatever,
Yeah, and I just tell them, hey, we're down over here. We were in Vista Village. We just moved. And
Where are you at now?
we're at 1430 Vantage Court. You know where Local Roots is?
No.
So Vantage,
Local Roots?
it's a kombucha bar in
Where is
Vista.
that? Yeah, no.
You know where Palomar Airport Road
Yes.
and Business Park, where the big Amazon
Okay.
station?
Yep.
It's a building behind there.
There you go. That's where you're at. That's a wonderful spot.
Yeah.
If
So
I ever needed to move this giant thing, it would be over there.
yeah, there's lots.
I know.
There's lots of stuff that could be auto shops there. But anyways, I think it's just I don't remember where I was going with this, but
About what you do and doing sales, and it's not like you guys are cold calling or anything like that.
well, I mean,
You're making it
technic-
personable for personable things.
Yeah, I'm trying to make something very cold at least feel warm.
Sure.
So
And you trust these people that do all this stuff for you? They're just next level people?
Yes, I've
Yeah.
met them all. I've seen their work.
And their work's good.
And I've-
that's going to be hard, right? You're like,
and
dude, let's
really-
do something cool. And then they don't produce something cool. You're like, guys.
Well, that's the thing is I have followed him and his crew for like 6 years. I'm not like seeing everything they do, but I'd be like, oh, they're saying that they did this. And if I go in there to deliver water or nearby, I would go in and be like, hey, you guys know Aaron? And so
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
and then
cool.
and I would hear straight from them, and then I would go and look at it and be like, yeah, this is
it
really
is
good.
awesome, yeah.
This is way better than what I used to do.
Oh, got it.
And so I was sitting on the fence for way too long, and I'm just the water guy.
Yeah, right. That closed-minded. This is who I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do not think that is so far not the move. Where whatever you're doing, whatever your life has become, who you've become on paper, whatever name you've put on your business card for whatever it is you do, that's not you. That's not your closed-minded vision of who I am.
Yeah.
Just remember, this is money. When you're out trying to like sell a service or help someone, unless you're doing it for charity, you're doing it to provide for your family or your future or whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
So like there has to be some sort of like passion in it.
Oh yeah.
Like you got to have that. Or it'll just be harder.
No, and I believe in what he's doing.
Yeah, which is great, dude. What a wonderful thing to
And
work
it-
for someone that does that or with.
He's not perfect, but I'm not either. But the thing is, when I interviewed with him, we really had just like a really honest conversation. He's like, "You've been doing route sales a long time,
Yeah.
so that means you'd visit people a lot. You'd go back, and I don't need you going back, or I don't need you like get in the middle of the service part of it, because then you're not going to do what I need you to do, and then you're just going to make more work for the rest of us. Like
Yeah.
you get meddled in there." And I said, "You know what? That sounds better to me. As long as I know your team is going to do the work that we're all saying they're going to do, then I won't want to get involved."
Yeah. Yeah.
And for the most part, there is still some times where we butt heads, but I think it's so much more of a healthy relationship. have so much respect for him and his wife starting this business. He started it because his dad had a drapery business. I think he still has a drapery business in Cleveland, Ohio, where he's from. And they just didn't have any digital presence. They had been around a while, and they just were surviving on word of mouth.
Oh, yeah, and he helped.
But they just started declining, and it was just, all he needed was to at least be able to be found.
Yeah.
And so that whole idea is where he started this. Like, he wants to help
people
local
that don't
at
know
least
how to do that.
be
Get
seen.
some good service out. Yeah.
Yeah, for the people that are looking for them. So right now our thing is, if people are typing into Google auto shop near me and they're 3 miles away from you, you need to be on that first page of the map. For whatever it is that you're doing. I don't know if you specialize in
SEO,
yeah,
right? Search engine optimization.
Because that is seeming to what helps most local businesses around here, at least.
Yeah.
So that's...
And I would recommend anyone starting a business doing that.
Yeah.
Just be very careful with once you get to the amount of work that you're capable of doing.
Yeah.
Just be careful of doing too much of that.
Yeah. You can definitely get carried away. You don't want to...
Well, all of a sudden, you just line out the door for the service you can't provide today. That's a rough thing.
Yeah, and then you get all these bad reviews. But, so it's just something that he's taken a long time to craft with
Which is
his
cool.
people.
What a wonderful person to be working with.
Yeah.
So I have a question, though, because this is really fun, because as a creative person, what a wonderful job you have. This has got to be fun, and you're involved in it, and you're building a relationship with someone, and then you're like seeing the product that your business is creating for their service, getting that out. Like, that's really fun to get money and creativity. But in terms of your creativity, in terms of like writing songs, when did you start writing songs? Was it guitar first?
It was basically guitar first without words.
You were just jamming. How did you learn to play guitar?
So when I was a kid, I would use my cassette recorder to record the radio songs I liked. Sometimes in between the songs, I'd pretend with me or maybe friends that we were like a DJ and we were talking.
Oh, yeah.
And then other times I would make tapes that were just purely experimenting with sounds, or holding the record button down and the pause button down halfway at the same time to speed up the recording.
Yeah.
So that way when you play it back, it's all like low sounding.
Yeah.
Or just whatever, getting on the mic.
Yeah.
What wind sounds I could make. And so just playing.
Experimental, yeah.
Playing. And so
playing, not playing.
Yeah,
playing,
just
like
playing.
A child.
Yeah. And so my brother, who's 9.5 years older than me, went off to Desert Storm around 91, 92, 93, somewhere in that realm.
What's his name?
Tony.
Thank you for your service, Tony.
He left his guitar behind. He'd already learned how to play like Pantera and stuff
death metal.
Yeah. And so I asked him, can I play your guitar? He's like, I guess so, just don't break it. And then my parents just didn't really, they didn't tell me it was too loud. They let you. They just let me play. So I just dug out the old tapes and here's a song I want to learn.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what a tab was. I didn't even know how to hold the guitar.
Yeah.
I was just like, I want to try to make this sound like what I hear.
Cool.
So I just kept doing that. I was really into video games before that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the guitar just took over. I put the controller down, and the guitar became, this is the most fascinating game I've ever...
It is that, man. It's still a game. It's still a game. Yeah. And the more you get into the production side and you start doing the thing on the computer, it's so a game.
So it's just sounds that I was making.
Yeah.
And then learning. After a while, my mom said, we should get you guitar lessons. So I think I did like a month. And I was kind of getting something out of it, but kind of unmotivated. So I stopped. And I just kept doing what I did, like listening to songs. Oh, there's a new song on the radio. That sounds really cool. Recording it and then going back and learning half a second. Okay? Go back, play it, and play it. And just keep...
By memory. You wouldn't write it down or anything?
No. I just...
So sick.
I just kept figuring it out.
That's awesome.
And so it was just a fun game. that I really loved, and other friends of mine were starting to learn how to play. Like Metallica's one. And
Yeah.
so we
for
were all
sure.
trying to learn how
Open
to.
E. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we were just all having fun with it. And then, I told you I met Grant, and he's like, we're going to form a band. And then I got into another band. And so I was like in two bands at once.
And just for Metallica's sake, I think I did Unforgiven, and one is Burn, 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 Burn.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. Yeah.
But it was all those ones that I learned to play as well.
Yeah.
So you brought a guitar here.
Yeah.
Were you willing to show us a
Yeah.
little something?
Yeah. I have a song that.
Are you working on something that's not on here?
I have so many things.
There you go. Are you going to play us something? Will you sing it
can.
as well?
Yes.
It's a little on the point, but I would love for you to do that.
That's fine. So this is a song that has different lyrics now, but I'm going to play the original lyrics for you. It was very personal,
It's going to make them all these noises.
but that's all right. Or maybe I'll just do this.
Wait, so what do you call your bands? Cruise J? Like your stuff?
It's under the name Cruz J.
Yeah, well, I think it's cool.
So my middle name is Cruz. I'm named after my great uncle who died shortly before or after I was born, and I don't know why I didn't just put it under Joe Moreno.
Cruise J is cool, dude.
Yeah. So can you hear this through this mic? Okay. Or do you want to plug it in? However you do it.
Give me a good. Oh, are you gonna play like that? Is that how you'll play?
Yeah.
That'll be fine right there.
Now I got to remember the words because I couldn't find them on here, so I'm just gonna.
Wing it, bro.
Yeah. I might do a combination of the new words and old words because I'm trying to remember I know the title of the song originally, and I swear that it was in here under that title. We Never Run Out of Forks Anymore was the name of the song. Very personal song.
Yeah.
So I'll just start singing, and I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cruise J with We Don't Run Out of Forks Anymore.
And then you find we gave it away. Once you saw what you were really worth, clothes on the floor of your room. Once for a day, a week is not enough. And did I mention that we never run out of forks anymore?
Yeah, bro.
So, yeah.
No, I love it.
Yeah, that was definitely a combination.
Well, when you were saying it's a very personal song,
Yeah.
do you get to tell us about why that's a personal song?
Yeah,
what that means?
it's about missing somebody and being annoyed by all the things that are different when they're gone. So I think one of the lines was something about like, there's no clothes on the floor of your room because the room's clean.
Yeah.
And then like, there's all this peanut butter because you always ate all the peanut butter and now we have too much. And we would always run out of forks before any other utensils. Now we never run out of forks anymore because you're not here.
Yeah.
And so it was just about expressing that you miss somebody, but you're also kind of like upset at them.
Yeah.
But it became a different song. Then I asked my nephew to sing it. And
Why did it become a different song?
Because the lines didn't make any sense to like,
Do they have
unless
to?
I explain it.
Yeah,
so-
but do they have to?
No, they don't have to. But I
Like
think
the best part.
I think the lyrics, I liked them better later because I really liked this one photo I took one time of, we have these roses in our backyard, white roses, and there was one beautiful white rose, and like butted up right next to it was this rose that had died. And I remember taking that photo and I looked at it, I said, it's adorned. Like the one that is dying is bringing life to the one that's there. I really don't know about plants, so
Yeah.
maybe it's sucking life away from it, but I don't know.
No, but that
to
didn't
me,
mean that day.
at that day,
Yeah.
it meant like this, even though it looks like it's dying, it's still part of the same plant.
Sure.
It's adorned in beauty. And so the lyrics that I started with, that became something else. It was more about like, then you finally gave it away. Once you realized your worth, these things that you were striving for didn't matter. You already knew inside yourself what a better plan was. So yeah, it was stuff like that.
Well, I liked it, man,
Yeah.
a lot. There's something I heard this great quote about music, and they said that music is one of the only things that can invade your personal space without asking.
Yeah.
And I feel like that song just did that. I don't know. I had to like sit back and like soak that. There was I mean, just to give my own feedback of that, like, please record that song.
It's recorded.
Okay,
It's
okay.
done, and my nephew helped sing it. Again, it wasn't because I don't like my voice.
Orchestrated, or is it guitar and you singing? Because, bro, that song is so like
It's mainly guitar and a voice.
it's an acoustic vocal with the with you doing it, and then you sing it.
No, my nephew, I asked him to do it, and it's not that I don't like my voice. It's just I really heard his voice on it.
Yeah, which is a powerful thing.
And so
You can
I-
actually hear someone else's voice. You're like, man, I
Yeah.
feel like this sound goes on there. You're being told that. You don't really get to choose that.
Yeah.
You know, like the things that you really think about the song or something that you really like, that's something that's been given to you.
Yeah.
Because you don't get to choose the things that you like. Otherwise, you would just like certain things that help your life or whatever. But if you're like, man, I really hear something on that, like run with that because
Yeah.
that's something bigger telling you that, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's a really
Yeah.
good song, man.
Yeah, it
That
will
needs
be.
to be- yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sitting on too much stuff that's like,
You got something else?
well, what do you want to hear?
Anything else, dude? Just after that, you got to give me one other something.
Okay, I can play you Bloodline, which also I'm trying to get somebody, and she knows who she is, to sing one very small part on it, and then I'll be done. But this one's called Bloodline. I do have the lyrics for this, and the reason I look at my own lyrics is because I can be looking down at these lyrics and still sing the wrong ones. I'm really
Yeah.
bad with lyrics. Like everything else I can remember pretty much, but lyrics are my weakness.
Do you think it's because you have so many songs?
No, I don't even think I have that many songs. Oh, I found it. And then you finally gave it away. All right, now I found the other one. Don't worry about it. I'll do Bloodline because I already did that one. Better think twice before you slip up. Better be wise or get whipped up. Don't you know you're playing with fire? Tussle with me deep in the mine. No mistake, this bloodline's thicker. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Toe the line, down the line, bloodline's gonna catch up with you. Woo! Down the line, somewhere down that line, your bloodline's gonna catch up with you.
Damn, Joe. I love that. That's strong, dude. That's strong for any. I can't speak for women, but there's always something about like a man who says like that you know be careful because you'll end up like your father. And all I can think about is that when I hear that somewhere down the line your bloodline's gonna catch up with you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like that.
It's twofold because I in the verses I'm talking more about like my bloodline's strong. Like
Right.
if you really knew who you were best. And really, when I say that, I'm talking more about like the enemy. And for me, I believe it's the devil.
Yeah.
For some people, they believe it's the enemy
Oh, okay.
within.
I mean, as like a believer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for other people, maybe they believe it's like the enemy within, like their own thoughts and stuff.
Sure.
And so, but to me, it's like balking back at that and being like, hey, don't mess with me. My bloodline's strong.
Yeah.
But then the other voice comes in the chorus is like, yeah, but your bloodline has some bad stuff in it too.
And that's what you want
And if
this
you just-
person we won't speak of sing that part? You want that other vocalist to do that part?
No, I just want
You just want that person to sing it?
I want a person to sing like a backup vocal, like a harmony line.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyways, so it's done.
Yeah.
I just
Bro, that song is awesome.
I'm too much of a.
I love them both. There's like a blues album that like before you get all these other people, you should just record them. You and that. It's good, Joe.
Well, they are recorded. I just haven't let go of them. I'm just like, well, I just need to do this.
Yeah,
And so that's
you're a
my
perfectionist.
problem. Yeah.
That is a problem for anyone creative.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can spend so much time trying to like revamp something, and it was already good.
Yeah.
You know?
I've done that, and it's made something complete doo-doo too.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Most of the time when you spend too much time on it, you turn and you're like, fuck. That's why save as is so important.
Yeah.
You get that idea down and you put it down. Cool. Save as, and then you go mess with that. Don't mess with the original one because you'll spend hours on it. Especially if you're adding layers. Oh, I'm gonna add bass to this. I'm gonna add that. You add a bass line. You're like, this bass line sounds great to that. And then you listen to it 2 days later, and you're like, man, I just totally changed the chord because I just put a bass line that wasn't top of my chord or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, that song's so different right now because of a bass line. Or
Oh yeah.
I'm big into sounds, like weird atmospheric sounds and stuff like that. And I love playing on like a production studio keyboard because it has like filters on there. And if I want to build up sound, I mean, I can slowly build the sound or whatever.
Yeah.
But it will really change like the dynamic of the song, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's very important to get that idea down, save as, and then start messing with the other ones.
Well, I would say anybody that I know you didn't ask me this, but I would say anybody that has any thought to make music, get on GarageBand first.
It's so easy.
It's just,
yeah.
Like, and don't worry about it sounding good.
No.
Just try to get your idea out, and then like get the idea out first, and then go back in and change it to the sound you want.
Yeah, and also there's a lot of people that will play a guitar. They'll write a song. Maybe they're not super like production based, and then they go in and they try to time it, and it ruins everything. You know, but I agree. Get the idea down, you know, and if there's some sort of like a timing aspect you need to add, like that's the busy work when you're not feeling super inspired. That's busy work.
Yeah.
That's like the rest of your life. You can go in there and try the things or whatever. You've already got it recorded. But if that idea is down, that like vibe is down, and I think that's a very important thing too. If you're feeling a certain way, man, that recording today is going to sound so much better than if you're just being the busy bee and you're like, oh, I want to record this better. You know, if you can get that,
Just the initial
inspiration,
thought,
down, and there's
Quickly.
something about that, because again, that's your gift that was being gifted to you. You know, that was working in conjunction with whatever that is, and what you know, and like your emotions, and then if you can somehow hit record, you know, man, let's go, dude.
But I want to start a group, not a music group to play in front of people. Maybe we could, but I want to start like a small group. Like I'm talking church language now. But that is focused on people that, whether they think they're musicians, singers or not, they just really love music. We get together and just share stuff. And play it for each other and learn how to express ourselves. To me, certain things now that I have written have now changed the way I think and treat people. To me, it's like that is of so much more value than getting 10,000 likes on something. To me now, it has given me a different perspective that is irreplaceable in a situation.
Or like this weird inner motivation. To like, become, or you have, and that's like proof or whatever. You know, I think that that's very important.
Yeah.
to get that out, because I feel like everyone has that, and whether or not they're a trained musician or whatever. Sometimes there's people that I've met that have no musical background. They don't play instruments. They don't sing or anything like that. But man, their input is like invaluable. I hear something like this, and then I'm like, oh, and I'll do that. I'm like, damn, that's what it was missing.
Yeah.
So that person is important. So like, yeah, bring those people.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? Hey, great intuition person. What do you think of this song I just wrote? Because
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm just going to kind of do me,
Yeah. And Randy, who I would mention from the Hopeful Band, I was looking over there because on my guitar case is a sticker he gave me for the band. I love him. He is a great man of God, but more than that, he has really befriended me when he didn't even know me. I was just this guy on his Instagram messaging him, and but he really helped me to see, like, yeah, it's okay to find the people that you're going to, like, hey, what do you think of this? But he also was kind enough to tell me in a firm way, like, I don't know that I'm the person to, like, give you input about the production side of it or this. And also, like, you don't have, because I would do this thing, and I somehow he just knew that, like, I get an idea. I'm so excited. I start, like, I'll screen record what I'm doing on GarageBand, like a 10-second clip. I'll be like, hey, person, what do you think of this? Hey, person, what do you think of this? And he's like, you don't need to do all that. And it's stifling you because you're waiting to hear back from people about what they think. And
it's hard to show someone in progress anything
Yeah.
unless they do that as well.
Yeah.
Because as an artist, you'll put something down, or you'll begin, a chord progression or something, and you hum over it. You have a little melody idea, and you're already like writing the production, and you're hearing the end result and all that. And then you show someone, and they're like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, well, so it's going to be bigger, it's going to sound louder, and this is going to change. And then the whole time you're talking over how it's going to be. They're like, what are you trying to show me? So pick those people wisely.
Yeah. And he said, look, I'll be your friend, but you don't need to show me all your stuff. like let's just hang out. And that's
cool.
But it helped me to realize, because I think also, I have this tendency to feel like I need approval from people.
Yeah.
And so,
I wonder if that's an artist thing, or if that's just like everybody. And I don't know, artists are a little more vulnerable, so they tend to say that. But I hear that a lot from artists, they're like, I don't know what it is, but I like want people to, if I'm working on something and it means a lot to me, just need like a little positive feedback from them.
Yeah.
They're like, do you like this kind of thing?
But if you send it out to so many people, most of them, they're just like you. They have lives. They may not even have time to listen to it.
Yeah.
And so then you're waiting. You're like wondering, are they ghosting me? And then you get all in your head.
The next
about
time
it.
you see them, you can't even like talk to them. You're like, did you hear that song I sent you? And they're like, oh, no, I haven't listened to it yet. And you're like, I've been like attached to that emotionally.
Yeah. So it's just
months.
Yeah. But
yeah.
So
do you think there's an answer to that? Is there some way? I wonder if there's I wonder if like forums or something like that would help. Someone where there's other people that are doing that as well. And you don't have to like technically record the song, produce it, master it, distribute it, upload it. I wonder if there's just
there's
fun.
Lots of different things.
There's got to be, right?
There are already a lot of different things. One thing that I did recently with a guy who's all over social media, Logan Grimet, he has a lot of classes. A lot of them have to do with melody, and so he invited me to do this class called Melody Maker. I think it was like an 8-week class, and he showed us how to use this really simple like MIDI software. Understand? Like, it's just like beep boop beep beep, like so that you strip your song down to just the notes, not anything fancy. And you learn how. And his whole idea is melodies are just rhythms with note values.
Cool.
And so, and when you
they repeat just like a rhythm does.
Helping me see that has really transformed the way I write a melody now, because now I understand, people are going to connect with it better if they can sing along with it.
Yeah.
If I'm going all over the place because
Yeah.
I'm an artist.
Yeah. I know. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's simple is stupid.
Yeah.
So, do you do that now? Are you producing music on GarageBand and then you're taking out the sounds on like a MIDI track and you're just going like it's whatever synth sound?
Nearly everything I do now,
and then you listen back to go like, is this catchy or like
Yeah.
what's your move forward? Okay, now I'm gonna record what it is. Like
I use voice memo a lot, and if I come up with an idea or I hear a sound, I'll record it in there. But if it's a melodic idea, or lyrics or no lyrics, I put it in there first, and then I write around it. And then once it's like a song, I'll test it against
the theory.
So it's just like, is this repeating in predictable patterns, or am I just like winging it?
Yeah.
And when I'm just winging it, it may sound kind of cool.
Yeah.
But most people are gonna just like not get it.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna stick in their brain.
I think there's times for, to go
There are
wild
times.
musically,
Yeah.
or especially there's a lot of time artistic people want to hear busy songs and stuff, but there's something about the trance you get in with the song when it does repeat, especially when you're making the music. To everyone at home, if you choose to make music, you're not being annoying when you're playing that thing on loop and you're like getting into that. It's the same thing as like a drum circle. That's like one of the oldest things ever, man. And it's like getting people into that vibration. It's like, what vibration does your song produce if that part repeats? Someone's into that, like, and if you could kind of feel what that is, then run with whatever that makes you feel like, because, you're already stuck in that. Most likely other people will be stuck in whatever, drum circle, vibration, repetitive thing you're doing. And it's kind of like a trance. And I think it's like spiritual, when you're in it and you're feeling, because a lot of times if you're just like, man, this song, and you're just going and you're thinking about your life and whatever else is going on, you've already lost the song. It's already doing something different. And I think that's so powerful that's like what music has in it, is that the fact that there's a lot of songs that go intro, verse, chorus, bridge, verse.
Yeah,
chorus,
but I needed
outro.
that.
Yeah,
I needed that because I was going off the rails
because you were making your songs all wild. But man, that structure, it gets people thinking about it. And sometimes just like the vibe of the song just puts you in somewhere, or like remind you of something. Like there's not many things in the world that does that, unless meditation or drumming or things like that. So I'm very excited to hear more of this, but I would like to play a couple other things that are on here. So your most popular song is Messenger, but it's the OK edit. Can I play that?
Yeah, it's all I did later was I fixed something in the hand drum part. Okay. And I'm like, I don't know why I didn't release that one just the way that was, because it was better. I don't remember now, but when I put this out, I was like, well, I'm okay with this.
So you called it the OK edit. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to Spotify right now and look.
And this is Sandy Solis. She's in Riverside County. She's a wonderful person and a singer.
And she sings on this?
Yeah. And then the friend who introduced me to Aaron served in the military with Aaron. His name is Ben Jacobson. He raps in the middle of it.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that. Ladies and gentlemen, Cruz J with Sandy what?
Sandy Solis and Ben Jacobson.
It's called Messenger, the OK edit on Spotify.
Something tells me we're not getting out of this unscathed. Where will be the fun in that? Into deep in our sleeps that we've shed a tear alive. Whose idea was this anyway?
Did you write these lyrics or did Sandy?
As you are, my gentleman. asking all the wrong
Yes,
questions, it seems. I thought you knew this dance. In a dream, you could please set us free, and my soul's caught flying. You can't make this stuff up if you try. As you
I gotta ask real quick. Okay, does Sandy? There was like the melody of what she just said. Did you create that, or do you write the lyrics and go, Sandy, do something with this? Who made? Did you scratch track that?
I scratch track that, but I have to give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
That melody comes from some Radiohead song. Now I'm going to forget the name.
Okay. Because I was gonna say I was getting some '90s vibes from that.
Yeah, it was a Radiohead song that I think I stole that.
Oh, okay.
It kind of did that.
Sure.
I can't remember what the name of the song is. Somebody will listen to this and know what it is. I don't remember what it was. But I lift so many things from other places and reference either lyrics or melodies or rhythms from other things I've heard.
Yeah.
So I steal a lot of stuff.
It's not stealing.
Well,
it's using.
Yeah.
I gotta hear Ben's rap.
Yeah, it's coming up.
reach out for me. Forget the pain. I tell you it's nothing.
Train tracks take me from point A to B. Mind sleeps between stops and fine beats. Numb it sound, slow the record, dumb it down. How can he be found? I'm not lost. Never running out of money cause there's no cost. Mind floats over the rapids of your thoughts. Slow draws of cigarettes that I bought. Ports $5 a pack with no tax. Gray streets and alleyways fade to black. Cityscape sounds, train lines to town. Tracks bend and black curve come to end. Orange green gleams, sunsets on fiends. Train wheels scream amidst concrete beams. Enter the station, my mind starts erasing. Last stop, rise, street level escalation.
You guys ever perform this song? You made it.
Yeah.
Who's Ben to you?
Ben is an awesome friend. That is him and his family. Our kids grew up together. Yeah, I love
Ben's your friend.
Yeah.
And he does hip hop? Or did you ask him like, hey, I'm feeling like I need sort of like spoken lyric on this?
Yeah.
And he's like, let me throw something down?
Yeah. He's never really recorded anything. But
And he just has that voice like that?
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like that guy.
Yeah.
That's really cool. All right, what's Brandon?
Oh, that's the background vocals. Just I don't know why I didn't credit her, but that's shoot, what is her name? Aubrey. Oh man,
Right
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's doing that. It's another thing where I'm like, hey, I'm sending you this song. Can you just do this little part for me?
Yeah. Well, you kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like group vocals behind it.
Yeah.
That's cool. See, dude. I just pulled up this. I was like, I wonder if he's got other stuff on Spotify. I'm very happy I did. What's branded in bold? What is this song? Is that you on the cover?
No, I found that like a stock footage imagery of like somebody, like a vacation thing. But I do sing on this one.
Who's Todd?
Oh, yeah.
Todd Pennington.
Todd Pennington of the band Cinder Highway. This is another kind of duet. I start it and then he ends it.
That's cool.
Set my hopes on a grain of salt.
This is you.
Fickle, thin, strained to a halt. I never remembered what it was
ask something. So there's a really cool lead guitar right there that just. Did you know what you wanted to play, or are you just playing like a key? Are you just playing like a blues lead on that, and you just chose which one you wanted to record, or did you have an idea for that? Because that fits so well, and you're repeating it. Ooh,
Yeah.
and that little slide thing that you just did right there.
Yeah. And there's Todd.
Measured out in careful replies. Always remember.
Before I just go playing everything. What's stress without the E? I'm liking your shit a lot, dude.
That's just, it was,
Oh, what?
Everyone walk around with
that you?
attitude, like they on trial about to countersuit. It's like braces on a
Who just did that backup?
that's me.
And you did it. You did a vocal overlay.
Yeah, vocal overlay, but I think it was like heavily treated and pitched up.
Yeah, but it sounds freaking awesome. I'm starting
It's
it
true,
over.
that's the rich man. Better question why you walking in quicksand. Everyone walk around with attitude, like they on trial about to countersuit. It's like braces on a vacation, permanently cold stone to race. What love was there now has no patience. Gun the roses cast on the hatred. Why don't we face it? Better than a question designed to simply just toe the line. Straight settle in for just below fine, as long as we're not quit on what keeps us primed and ready to serve. And sir, do you really have that kind of nerve? Gas is thinning in the waiting room. Might as well thin out the patience too.
And then I just like, I put the mic down and it made a
Yeah, and it
sound.
made a sick ass vibe right there. That
then
was
I-
dark as light. We
Yeah.
did that.
So yeah, it was just, that
right,
one
so-
came to me
bro.
all of a sudden and I went into,
Run that, dude. It's sick.
Into-
I love that.
on this,
Variant in A minor. Now, is this in a minor
it's
or
in A minor.
A minor?
Exceptions to the rule.
This has been, again,
Elementary to high school, how cool.
Ben
Watch
Jacobson.
the clock before it's time for me to rise on top. Non-stop till my demise. Bottom, hookah, more scars than black stars, spit bars, I got 'em.
I don't want to ask all your
Charge
secrets, but there's some
ignition,
really cool
shockwaves,
sounds that you've
kill
made on
mad
this that I
vision,
just really
waves
am
like
attracted to.
bombs.
So many of them are just in the garage,
Just
man.
what's up, right?
They're just in there.
Between rocks, survive by any means. You call us bottom feeders, we feed off of any dreams. Not even ours, we're dreaming. Other people's stars are gleaming.
All right.
Those
So,
fish shining
what are you
bright.
interested in making most? Because you're merging genres like crazy with all these, man. I mean, there's like some like pull to the heartstrings blues, and dude, and you've got some like underground hip hop electronic vibe, which is stuff that I love. You know,
The blending of the two is what I'm most fascinated with. The
Yeah.
acoustic elements with the electronic elements.
yeah. So bringing other genres together.
Not
because
just
you like
genres.
that madness.
Not because I like the madness, but because I feel like in a movie, there's different scenes. There's
Yeah.
the funny scenes, there's a scary scene, there's
Yeah.
the different emotions. And to me, any kind of musical work of art can do the same thing where it makes you feel different things. Even sometimes mid-track it can switch.
Yeah.
I haven't done much of that, but I have listened to things that were like, whoa, that was a total shift. Even just like there's another Radiohead song that I can't think of the name of, but it does that. Karma Police.
Sure.
So it's one thing, and then at the end, he's like, I forgot myself. I forget what the lyric says.
Oh yeah. The end of the song.
Yeah, but it's like everything sounds different.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a different song. But it's because it's part of the story that's in
Yeah.
that song. It's like,
Yeah, if there's all like an artistic creation behind it,
yeah.
really will speak volumes. Well, bro, hey, I'm really excited to hear. I'm really excited to see if you'll make some music with me.
Yeah, we can do
I want to
stuff.
throw some stuff together.
Yeah,
this
we can-
seems really fun, bro.
I am
Like,
working with, I did get to open at the Escondido Street Fair and do something that I've always wanted to do.
which is what?
I met this guy in Rancho Bernardo. Him and his wife are musicians, and he's a regionally famous Turkish DJ in the Hotput region.
Nice.
And I met him because I was delivering water to his house and setting up a
Yeah,
water
yeah.
cooler.
Yeah.
But then I was like, there's like a whole studio in here.
Yeah.
So we started talking about that. But anyways, I've been kind of toying around with this idea, and without any rehearsal, we just went for it. He brought his stuff to do like a DJ.
Sure.
And I don't really even understand what it was
Yeah.
because he didn't have needles. It was something else. I don't even know what he did.
Yeah.
But somehow he had me send him all the tracks
Yeah.
that we were gonna do.
My wife does that. All digital, like live DJ stuff. I can make
Oh,
a
really?
song and I can send it to her, and she'll just be like, "Let me chop this up real quick," you know.
And so
then
he was
she'll
live.
send me and she'll blend
Yeah.
them together.
So he
But
was
here-
live chopping while I was playing and singing over it.
Oh, sick.
And so his name's Togayam Tarim. DJ TNT is his stage name.
Hell yeah.
So he's definitely become a friend and a collaborator. He's also,
And you guys booked a show together at the street fair?
at the new record shop, Track City Records.
Where's that? Where?
It's on Grand, over near the Coastal Vacuum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's real new.
Yeah, because the only other record store I know about up here is the one in Vista.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one just opened like 3 or 4 months ago.
It's exciting.
So and he's also got this Turkish coffee, which I'm trying to help him get into stores with.
Yeah.
And every time I go to his house, he gives me this Turkish coffee. It's called Hot Dibek.
Hell yeah.
And it's like really, like, I mean, you know,
Really? What?
so really tasty.
Okay.
It's not super high caffeine.
Yeah. Super strong or something.
But it has like cardamom in it and
Sure.
cacao bean.
Nice.
And it's just like, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And so I said, look, I like this myself. And if we can get this product out here more, then I'll have it to drink. So I don't even care if you pay me. I will go help you get this
I'm
out.
buying other coffee. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, him, and then there's another guy. I won't go into the whole story, but his name is, he goes under the name Terry Terrific. And he is from a group called LA Symphony that I used to follow back in the late 90s. And we're already in the midst of making an EP together.
Hell yeah. That's good.
But that one's just going to be hip hop.
Oh,
Pretty
really?
much.
It's
Yeah.
exciting.
So, I mean, it'll still have a lot of me doing the production, so it'll still probably have live elements in it.
Yeah, or like finger picking guitar affected.
Yeah.
Crescendoing behind the break or whatever. Because there was definitely a lot of that, unless all of those were just sounds that you
Yeah.
found that were looped or whatever.
But yeah, I'm always down to collaborate with people and just see
When
what
is
comes
this
out.
street fair?
No, it already happened. It happened on Sunday.
Oh, you just did it.
Yeah.
You just did the street fair on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Was it an amazing time? Tell me about that.
I loved it. We didn't know what we were doing. So some of it was better. Some of the songs came out better than others.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was just...
You were
an
on a
opportunity.
guitar and a mic.
And he was on...
Yeah, and he was on a
top of it,
mixer or whatever.
and he was putting other beats over my songs
Yeah.
and like scratching and doing like DJ
and
stuff.
the people walking around knew what was going on. They're
There's a
like, the
speaker-
guy's doing that, but he's doing something with it.
Yeah.
And they enjoyed that.
Some
Did you
people
get good feedback from people?
Yeah. Some people were like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Most people are in there it's background music.
Yeah,
For an event like
yeah,
that.
something fun, yeah.
They're just going in there to buy records.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people
Oh,
are,
you
like,
were
looking.
inside.
Yeah, the record store.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Right? That's got to be cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, you're jamming in the record store.
Yeah. So
You trying to do those kinds of things?
to
Do little
play
events
live,
and things like that?
just starting to.
Yeah. And you feel like you weren't doing that and you want to now, or
I haven't really played live other than at church.
yeah,
Nothing against church.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just a different thing.
different set.
But
yeah.
I haven't done that since those bands I was in like late high school, college. And so now I feel like
The
I,
Awakening, Joe.
I feel like I have something to say and a passion to let people know through this music to awaken them. Like, hey,
Yeah.
don't fall for these counterfeit things.
Yeah.
Go for what's real. Go for what's really inside you.
Yeah. And if you can perform what's real, it will again be magnetic.
Yeah.
It's cool, dude. I'm very excited.
Yeah. But a lot of it, like I said, has come from these experiences, some of them horrific experiences.
Sure.
And my wife, I love her.
Life's not all beaches and cream, man.
Yeah, my wife, I love her. We've been through so much together. She's the one that knows me at my worst.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the one that keeps me in check. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to do any of this.
Yeah.
She thinks that she's not a part of it sometimes, but I told her, honey, none of what I've written has been written outside of our relationship has informed so much of this music.
Yeah. Bro, same. We have a lot in common. But yeah, same thing. These women, man, they influence a lot of the stuff that we make, you know? And same thing in terms of doing it and wanting to do it. If they're not in our lives, maybe it's less important.
Yeah.
You know, like we also want to show them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's an important part.
Well, bro, hey,
Okay.
I really appreciate you coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Moreno, a stud. Go see him. Hey, Cruz_J on Spotify. You can hear all his stuff. Is there anywhere else that what you also said? What's your Instagram handle?
We are Cruz J.
We are Cruz J.
Because I collaborate so much, and so
Yeah.
anything
So
that
it's
I
like
make,
it's like a hub. It's like a place where you can go.
Anything I'm making, rarely just me. It always has a lot of other people's contribution on it.
Bring it in. It's excited to see what you have to do, man, and excited to see if we could throw something together. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Moreno.
Ladies and men, Dan Drew.